Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we'll read this verse from the Skanda Puran. It has been also stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then we'll see its meaning. All right? I would request all of you to also chant this verse. So first I will take each word. I'll pronounce each word that you see in the Roman what is it? Roman script. The Roman script. And then we'll go line by line. All right? You've done this before? Have you done this before for any class? No? Okay. So like I say ete, then you have to repeat. So that way it will be easier to chant the verse. Is that all right? Ete na hi adbhuta vyadha tava hingsadayo gunaha hari bhaktau pravritta ye na te syuh paratapinaha. So now we'll do the verse, all right? So I will read the first line, or I will chant the first line, and then you have to repeat after me. Etena yadbhuta vyadha tava hingsadayo gunaha hari bhaktau pravrittaye na te syu paratapinah. So etena yadbhuta vyadha tava hingsadayo gunaha hari bhaktau pravrittaye na te syu paratapinah. Let us see what is the translation. Translation: O hunter, good qualities like non-violence, which you have developed, are not very astonishing for those who are engaged in the Lord's devotional service, and are never inclined to give pain to others because of envy. So the Skanda Puran, this verse is describing what happens, what is the transformation that takes place for someone who is blessed by the mercy of the holy names. And how do they get the blessings of the mercy of the holy name? They are blessed by the practice of devotional service. And where do they get the mercy? Because they are sincerely practicing devotional service. So, the reference is to a hunter. A hunter is someone who by profession has to be violent. That's a hunter. Yes? So Vyadha. Vyadha means one who puts an end to your life, to someone's life. Another word that comes from the root word Vyatha. means difficulties. So Vyadha is one who brings about difficulties. So why is it not astonishing to find a hunter become merciful? Because the hunter is practicing bhakti. And what kind of bhakti? Hari bhakti. Therefore, somebody who practices Hari bhakti is called as Hari Bhakta. And if there are many people who are practicing devotional service or bhakti, they are called as Hari Bhakta. Alright? So it is the nature of the Hari Bhaktas, pravrittaye, it is their disposition, that paratapinaha, they are very much aggrieved to see others in distress. They are very much inclined to make others happy, and they are very, very eager to remove the sufferings of others. So that is called as paratapina. So even a hunter who by nature or who by profession deals with violence, when the hunter comes in contact with devotional service or comes in contact with bhakti or comes in contact with those who are practicing bhakti or devotional service and is attracted to them, that hunter too undergoes a transformation. So this story is elaborated, the story of this hunter and the hunter's transformation is elaborated in a lot of historical accounts. And one of the historical accounts that we are going to take reference from is the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. Who's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a very, very revered personality. Just as Krishna is very revered, Lord Ramachandra is very revered, Lord Varahadev is very, very worshipable. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is worshipped by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Sri Bhagavan himself. So where is where do we see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu perform his activities? We see that in the scriptures called as Chaitanya Charitamrita. We find the reference in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this verse that we are projecting here is from the digital form of Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is available online. It is also available in the printed form, in the book form. Okay? You can read it. It is intertwined, a philosophy is intertwined with a lot of stories. Sometimes it is intertwined with a lot of historical accounts. So once the great personality, So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we have established as someone who is very much revered by Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Sanatana Goswami is a disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Sanatana Goswami was given instructions or was given insights by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is called as Sanatana Shiksha. So this is one of the extracts, a little extract from Sanatana Shiksha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing to Sanatana Goswami that just as somebody who understands the value of money knows how fortunate they are when they receive a lot of money. Let's say they receive millions of dollars. So they know how fortunate they are. Similarly, those who understand the value of the holy name, they really consider themselves to be very fortunate if they're able to assimilate and practice the holy names in their lives. If they're able to take shelter of the holy names in their lives. So they are considered to be very fortunate. So once upon a time, in the holy place of Prayag, which is a pilgrimage site for those who want to relieve themselves of their sinful mentality, they go to Prayagraj. Because in Prayagraj, the name of that place is Prayagraj. In Prayagraj, we have the confluence of 3 different rivers: the Ganga, the Yamuna, and the Saraswati. The idea is that you wash yourself, or you wash off all those unnecessary dirt that you have accumulated within your consciousness. So you need a liquid, something fluid to wash off dirt. Therefore one goes to Prayag, because there are these major rivers that have a confluence there. So when one takes a dip in the confluence of those rivers, then one feels relieved, or one believes that one is relieved of certain unnecessary tendencies that one has accumulated over one's life. So after coming from Prayag, one decides to change once. One wants to make a fresh beginning in life. That is that should be the benefit or outcome of going to Prayag. It's not just taking the dip and coming out, but one should feel rejuvenated, or one should believe that one has settled all previous accounts and now one has to start fresh. Now one has to, in proper consciousness, accumulate all those personality traits that are healthy. If one doesn't do that, then one will be troubled by one's previous habits. So taking dip in the Prayag is a very conscious effort of a visitor to this pilgrimage site. That's after I come out, after I've taken a bath, I really want to start fresh, have a fresh beginning in life. And this time I will be careful of the habits that I cultivate. How? Anything that is favorable for a healthy existence, that is what I'll cultivate. So one needs to have some inspiration. So in our scriptures and in the teachings, there are so many ways that an individual is encouraged to be inspired to make a fresh beginning, to make a new beginning, and not to go back to the old tendencies. Yes? So there is a fear. Sometimes one wonders that, okay, would my past reactions come back to me? So take a bath, have faith that you have washed all of that away, and start fresh. Start off without any baggage, any burden on your consciousness, and be good. Try to do that which is good, that which is acceptable to you and to society. Okay? So, Narad Muni had come to Prayag. Now, why does Narad Muni come to Prayag? Because the nature of enlightened people is that they always use all opportunities for which are beneficial. It's not that they need it they don't need any cleansing. But they are like, if there is an opportunity, why not take benefit of it? It's anyways going to be helpful. So that is what an enlightened person, what does enlightened mean? A person that is in knowledge. So if you are in knowledge, if you know that at the supermarket you can get another packet of, let's say, some product, and if you are aware that it could be helpful, then what do you do when you are in knowledge that it could be helpful? You pick up one packet and bring it home. Although you may not need it, since you are there and it is something that could come in handy. You pick it up. And if you are not aware of that, you go to the supermarket, you come back, and then like somebody reminds you, oh, I was there at the supermarket. Why didn't I pick it up? Why did not I do that? So enlightenment, these are ordinary activities, but there are activities that, or there are opportunities, similar opportunities that you get to make big leaps in life, like a business deal, or let us say alliances. And if you're not aware of what the opportunity is, later on in life you may regret. Why didn't I use that opportunity? It could have given me so much more returns in life. Regret is what eats up a lot of your valuable time and energy. So spirituality or spiritual techniques help you use your time and energy efficiently. Now, why do you make notes, all those sticky notes, either you do it physically or on your laptop? Why do you put all those notes around? Because you know that your memory you can trust, but not as much. You know that there are certain shortcomings that everyone has. Each one has. One knows one's own shortcomings, right? So we have sticky notes put up. Now that seems so childish, isn't it? Sometimes children also put on so many different, they paste small tags everywhere. And we are also doing that. But we are doing it in knowledge. Similarly, activities like doing puja, activities like going and bowing down in front of the Lord, these may seem to be very, very childish activities. I mean, who does that? Does the Lord need you to bow down? Doesn't the Lord understand that if I just do this, it is enough? It seems to be childish activities. However, these activities are done in knowledge. I want to humble myself in front of the Lord. Because then I will develop a quality that is helpful in my dealings with people around me. Humility is always helpful. Feeling low is not helpful. So there's a difference between humility and feeling inferior. Isn't it? Like a duplicate Apple phone and a real Apple phone. Externally look the same. But you know that one will last a longer time, the other won't. Isn't it? So inferiority and humility may seem to be similar qualities. In both you feel low. No. In humility you appreciate the greatness of the person in front of you or the object in front of you. Whereas when you feel low, you are only aware of yourself and nothing else. So one is awareness, greater awareness, that is humility, and inferiority is where it is very self-centered. Okay? So activities, when done in knowledge, may seem to be childish, but because they are done in knowledge, they are healthy, helpful, because they help you take bigger leaps in life. Okay? So Narada Muni comes to Prayagraj. Where is he coming from? He has just been to Vaikuntha. So for Narada Muni, it is like a everyday, affair. He goes down the road and he suddenly sees a sign, Vaikuntha, like Frisco here, Plano there. So he sees Vaikuntha. So he takes that turn. Turn goes to Vaikuntha. He meets the Lord of Vaikuntha, Vaikuntanath or Vaikuntapati. He says, Hare Krishna, my dear Lord, hi, bye. All of that happens. Then he comes back to Prayag. Because he was going to Prayag. He wanted to go to Prayag. On the way, he stops at Vaikuntha. Or let us say he was at Vaikuntha and then from there he decides to go to Prayag. So after being there, being at this holy site, he goes further on his journey. And at that point of time, Prayagraj was, the banks of the rivers were covered with dense foliage. So it was a forest. This wasn't a city, it was a forest. He sees a deer. And the deer has been pierced by an arrow. And the legs of the deer are broken. And the deer is writhing in pain. He feels bad. He looks around. There's just the jungle, just a forest, nothing else. So he moves further down. Now he has his own purpose in doing that. It's not that somebody may say that why didn't he help the deer or something. So let us, sometimes you do that. Sometimes you leave somebody in pain because you want to see if there is some amenity available for help. So he moves further, and a little distance away he sees a wild boar. And the boar is pierced by an arrow. Like just the shaft of the arrow is outside the boar's stomach. So it's entered deep into the boar's stomach. And the boar's legs have been broken. And the boar is writhing in pain. So again, he looks around and moves a little further and he sees a rabbit. The rabbit has been pierced by an arrow and the rabbit's legs are broken. See, Allah, very intelligent. So he detects a pattern. He's like an investigative journalist or an investigator. He's like, I've seen this. He looks around, moves a little further, and then he notices in the dark foliage, behind a tree, is hidden a hunter with his bow drawn. The string is drawn way back to his ears. He has an arrow on it. And he has pointed it at another forest animal. Narad Muni is taking certain forest paths because that is where he finds these animals. Now he leaves the forest path and walks directly to where the hunter is hidden. And as he's doing that, you know what happens? All the animals become aware there is an intruder. They immediately disperse. All the animals are gone. That's nice, isn't it? Okay. One person is not happy. The hunter, because he was so focused, he was about to shoot his arrow. And the animals all run away. He looks around angrily. Who disturbed this, his hunt? And then he sees the form of Narada Muni. He's shocked, taken aback. He's never seen someone like that, ever. He's like, do you have a visa, passport? Are you an alien? Who are you? Now, you have so many thoughts. When he sees the form of Narada Muni, something happens to him. He feels his vibe. You know vibe? He feels the vibe of Narada Muni. He feels that energy. And he immediately calms down. And he says, my dear sir, why did you leave the regular path and come on this untreaded jungle, roads? Why did you come this way? Because you have caused a loss for me. So Narada Muni, he asked him, I saw a few animals back there by the side of the road. Do they belong to you? So the hunter said, yes, they belong to me. And he felt that this person, he is kind of interested in animals. So he says, if you want one, you can take one. It's up to you. Take one and go your way. Narada Muni says, actually I have a doubt. Can you clarify my doubt? So the hunter is like, what is your doubt? He says, why are you half killing them? He says, half killing them? What do you mean? He says, I can see them pierced by arrows and their legs are broken. And, they are neither dead nor alive. They are in pain. He says, oh, okay, that is my skill. This is how I operate. Once how many of you have been in a situation where you do not know how to express yourself? Like, let's say, the first time you saw avocado, very first time, because most probably in India, you did not grow up seeing avocados. The first time you saw avocado, what do you think? Did you feel like you should be cutting it? You should be squeezing it? How did you feel? You asked, what is this, right? How does it work? And the people here are like, hello, it's an avocado. Sometimes just so that we may not seem to be uneducated in certain matters, you're like, yeah, take it up, and later on we go at home and we either use a knife or we squeeze it. Another example. Mangoes in India? Yeah. Some of them are squishy. The juicy mangoes, the others have to be sliced. Correct? In North India, what are the juicy mangoes? The ones that you kind of just squish a little and pour out the juice, like out of a can. Kesar? Kesar वैसे करते हैं? दशहरी करते हैं ना? दशहरी. And in South India, there is the Alfonso, the pointed ones, or the Totapari in Maharashtra. So a North Indian comes to